Hello, it's I Just Facts Made. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time stopping by, thank you. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking with your girl. Okay, so I traveled back home, so I'll be doing mostly pattern drafting. So let's get to know how to do this basic bodice pattern. So now the first thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be coming down from my paper line by 1 inch to create my own baseline. So now this is optional. You can work with the paper line as your baseline, but for the clarity of this video, I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch to create my own baseline. Okay, so now I'm going to just go ahead and mark out 1 inch all the way to the other end of the paper and then connect the lines. And when I'm done, I'm still going to further go ahead and mark out 1 inch at the side of this paper to still create a baseline coming down by my front waist length. So my front waist length is 17.5 inches. That is my shoulder to my waistline is 17.5 inch. So I'm going to be connecting this line to meet up my 17.5 inches just to create like a block, okay, like a block for this tutorial. Okay, so when I'm done with creating that channel, I'm going to go ahead and create a line connecting all of this across. So then I'm going to also close up this line to make this base my center back. Okay, so this is what it should look like. So remember that I came down by 1 inch on the baseline and 1 inch on the sides of the baseline, and then I'll be working with my shoulder, my bust, my front half length, my back half length, my shoulder to bust point, my round waist, and my shoulder measurement. Okay, so now I'm going to be working with the widest part of my body. Now the widest part of this half length is my bust. So my bust divided by 2 is 19 inches. So I'm going to be adding a 1 inch ease allowance, so that's going to be 20 inches just so that I can close up this box. So this is my 20-inch mark. So remember that my bust is 38 inches divided by 2 is 19 inches plus a 1 inch ease allowance. Then I'll further divide this box into 2 so that I can have my center back and center front. So now 20 divided by 2 is 10 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my 10 inches point to create a channel that is connecting my center front from my center back. Okay, so we're creating a center front line and a center back line. So this is our center front and then this is our center back. So I'll go ahead and label it just so that we are not confused. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be checking my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 14 inches. Now note that your shoulder is divided by 2 inch. So my shoulder divided by 2 is 7 inches. Okay, so I'll go ahead and mark my 7 inches. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking my standard neck width, which is 3 inches, and then on my shoulder line I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch. Remember that this is our center back pattern. Okay, so for my center back, my shoulder slope is coming down by 1 inch, and then for my back neck width, I'm going to be coming down by 3 inches by 1 inch. So this 1 inch, I'll just go ahead and create a box because I do not have a curve ruler here. Okay, I'm back at my parents' place. I traveled for the holidays, so I do not have a curved ruler here. So I'll just go ahead and use my pattern master to create a curve after creating this box. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to either measure my arm side divided by 2 or my bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. Now I prefer to use my bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, which will give me 7.5 inches. Now this formula works for everyone. Yes, it works for everyone. So I'll go ahead and add up my 1 inch slope allowance to have 8.5 inches. So I can mark this line all the way from my center back to my center front. Please note that my bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 gave me 7.5 inches, and we're placing this 7.5 inches from where our shoulder slope starts from. So directly under your shoulder slope is where you are placing your 7.5 inches. So now if I take the tape all the way up, I will be having 8.5 inches. So I did the 8.5 inches from the center front to the center back. Now for my center front slope, I'm going to be coming down by 1.5 inches. So this 1.5 inches, I'll still come down from my neck width by 3 inches to connect this 1.5 to my 3 inches neck width. Okay, so now when I'm done, I'll come down from my front neckline by 3 inches, and I'm still going to create a box to create like a curve for this front neck, because I do not have a curve ruler here. Okay, so when I'm done creating that box, I'll use my pattern master and create like a curve point so that I can have a curved front neck, which is like a round neck. Okay, so now we are done with our shoulder slopes for our center front and our center back. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be bringing down my shoulder line to my chest point. Okay, so I'm going to be putting the shoulder line on this chest point, or you can call it your armhole point. Okay, and then I'll be connecting a line all the way to meet up this chest line. Okay, from my shoulder line connecting down to my armpit line or my armhole line. Then I'm going to be dividing my back chest line or armpit line divided by 2, and I had 3.7. Remember that it is 7.5 inch divided by 2. Okay, and then I'm going to be bringing this same 3.5 inch, connecting it from my center front to my center back. Now for my center back, I'm going to be coming in by 0.5 inches, and for my center front, I'm going to be coming in by 0.75 inches. Okay, so this is going to like give us a good curve on our armhole point. It's going to give us like a good curve on our armhole point. Okay, now I'm going to be using this master ruler to create this curve, but before then I'm going to go ahead and mark my bust divided by 4. My bust divided by 4 is 9.5 inches. I'm going to impute that on my center front and on my center back line, and then go ahead and take my curve ruler and create a curve connecting from the point where I came in, the midpoint of my armpit point, where I came in by 0.75 inches and 0.5 inches. Okay, I'm going to be creating a curve, and then on the rest of the part, I'm going to use my ruler on the straight part and connect it like so. So this is what it should look like when you are done. Okay, so you can see that our basic bodice is already coming into, it's forming already. So we're going to go ahead now and mark our waist point. So now my round waist is 30 inches. So 30 inches divided by 4 is 7.5. But before then, you know that our back length is different from our front length. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my back length, which is 15.5 inches. So I took my tape measure and marked from my shoulder to 15.5 inches. And then our center front already has our 17.5 inch point. Remember that your back is shorter than your front length. Yes, because of your bust, your back is shorter than your front length. Now this pattern is going to help you if you're doing a bustier or a cupped bustiers. Okay, so now for this center back, I'm going to do my back tightening, which I'm going to be going in by 0.5 inch. So now whatever I'm going to take out for this back tightening, I'm going to replace it back to my waistline. Okay, so now for this back tightening, I'm going to be connecting the half inch to my neck point. Now this would not work in all cases, being that most times we have to create like a yoke up. So if you're going to be creating like a yoke up, it is advisable to connect this half inch from your chest line all the way to your half an inch point. Okay, but if not, you can go ahead. If you are doing like a normal dress that has a zipper connecting from the up to the down, that's from this neck point to the waistline, you can go ahead and work with your back snatch connecting from the waist all the way to the neck point. Now don't forget that on this pattern we added our dart allowance. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do the same thing for our center front. Note that your center front has no waist tightening. Okay, so I'm going to do my waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch allowance for my dart allowance. So I did the same thing for my center back and my center front. So when I'm done, my dart inch is 4 inches, which is my nipple distance divided by 2 is 4 inches, so thereby making my nipple distance 8 inches. Okay, so I'll go ahead and create this 4 inches point coming out by half inch on both sides to create my dart point. Okay, half inch on both sides to create my dart point. Then I'll do the same thing on my center front. I'll come in by 4 inches, and then before I go further, I will go ahead and mark my bust point line. Remember that your center front, you are coming down from your shoulder to your bust point line. Okay, and remember that we are doing a bust dart here, so we are coming down from our shoulder point by our bust point line, which is 10.5 inches. Then I will go ahead and mark my dart divided by my nipple distance divided by 2, which is 4 inches, and create this line connecting it from my bust point to my waist point. Now for most people, they do come down from this bust point by 1 inch and connect their dart, but for me, I will stick to this my bust point line, connecting my half inch to my bust point. Okay, so now when I'm done, I'll just go ahead and connect this line to create my dart. So this is what it looks like. So now the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to create my bust dart. Now your bust dart is simply the difference from your center front to your center back. Now it's simply 17.5 minus 15.5, which is our back half length, by minus front half length. You will have 2 inches. If you even place your tape on that back half length point, you will see the 2 inches there. So I'm going to go ahead and place these 2 inches at the side of this bust point. So coming down from my bust point line, I will place my 2 inches, and then I'll connect from my bust point line dart to this 2 inches point. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Then I will further go ahead and divide this 2 inches point into 2, which is going to be 1 inch on both sides, and then come up by half an inch just to create my dart here. I'm going to create a dart leg here so that when I close up this bust dart, you know, it will really sit firmly. Okay, so this is what it should look like. And at this point, you're actually done with your basic body. So now I'm going to show you how I will close this bust dart. Okay, so I'll go ahead first and cut out these basic bodies, cut everything all out so that I can show you how to place close up your bust dart. Now to close up your bust dart, you can actually either open up your waist dart leg, or you can open up your shoulder dart leg to close up this bust dart. But in this tutorial, I'm going to be closing up my bust dart by opening my shoulder dart leg. Okay, now to open up my shoulder dart leg, I'm simply going to measure my shoulder divided by 2. My shoulder is 4.5, divided by 2 is 2.1, and I'm going to be connecting this line to meet up my bust point. Then I'll use my scissors and open up this point to meet up that bust point line, and then I'll now go ahead and close my bust dart. Now it's actually very easy, so you can either use this method to close up your bust dart, or you can open up the leg from the waist to close up the bust dart. Okay, and now this is what it will look like. You can see that the sides are meeting. Okay, the sides will meet each other. All right, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you understood this video. Please leave a comment in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe.